name of Jesus, I lift up your daughter into your hands. I ask that you will keep her. You will strengthen her. In the name of Jesus. I see wealth rising up. All your being up in the name of Jesus. I declare your fear, your terror and trembling over every evil I cast against you. In the name of Jesus.
Vera was originally given the name Veronica when she was born, and her other names are Olive and Otini. The name Veronica the name Veronica turned to Vera because as a young girl, the other children were fond of saying Nika Nika, and she was not happy about them calling her Nika Nika. So, and when her dad went to the school she was to say, let her name become Olive, it became worse because there was Oliver Twist series on the television in the 70s. So every child in every home that has television knew about Oliver Twist. So when I get to school, they'll say Oliver asks for more. From Nika to Oliver. So we just called Vera.
The celebrant, Vera Otini, is my first cousin. She is a very, very caring human being. Wonderful. Large heart. She can fight for her own. And when I mean her own, it's not just only her relation. Everybody around her. She carries everybody along. Very selfless human being. She can deny herself to make others happy. That's her personality. She's so passionate about making other people happy. Making them happy to her own detriment over time.
I got to meet her in my time of crisis. I met her in my time of crisis. She was there for me spiritually. She doesn't look any way like somebody that will be there for me spiritually. But I was shocked when I met the spiritual side of her. I met her as a pastor. The first contact we had was when she organized a function for widows, and she invited me. I couldn't attend, but I sent my token. That was our first contact, and I was now wondering, because she's a Capricornian like me. Physically, we don't look like very spiritual. We don't look very, very spiritual. We look extravagant, buoyant. How can you really qualify a Capricornian? You see, she's way there, high flying, everywhere, and all that.
We met actually 44 years ago by our calculations. The first time we came in contact was when we both went to secondary school. That was in the Federal Government College, Okube, in 1978. So we met and we became friends. We were in the same class from Form 1 up to the time we graduated. And after our graduation, you know, usually you still get in touch for some few years. If you are lucky, you go to the same university, it continues. But somehow we fell apart. She went to University of Jos. I came to University of Abuja, but we were always in touch. And as God will have it again, eventually she found herself in Abuja. And ever since then, we've been relating very, very well.
Vera actually went to school with my elder sister, and it was quite fortunate that I met her in Turkey. We were coming back to Nigeria and I met her and we got talking, and we just found out that we were, that my sister was her friend and they were classmates. So ever since then we've been good friends, and the dress she wore I made. So yeah, we've been friends ever since.
Vera started her nursery and primary school in Holy Rosary Primary School, Ida, sometimes in the 70s. And because she was an educationist father, they were moving from one city to the other. We moved from Ida to Otini. From there, Benue was created. We went to Makurdi. We were sometimes in Ankara. In 1978, when I took the common entrance exam to go into secondary school, and I made it to Federal Government College Okigwe. And then from there, went to School of Basic Studies, Makurdi. Went to Benue Polytechnic for a diploma in law. Went to Unijos for a first degree in theatre arts and mass communication. From there, I went on to University of Ilorin for an MSc in public administration. Vera served at the Nigerian Agric Bank in Kaduna, proceeded to work for Rims Merchant Bank, Rims Securities, and then joined consultancy with a consultancy firm before joining the public service.
Vera is a very assertive person. She's very outspoken and she's very hardworking. I've had one or two experiences with her. I remember when I came down to her office and she would sit me down and she'll give me business ideas, and she's very prayerful. Most times when she tells me something, I really run with it. And so yes, she's always been someone that would inspire me to do things, that would probably be worth my while. So she's been such a mentor, and she's a gorgeous person inside out. She's a giver. If you know Vera, she's always ready to solve anyone's problems. She's somebody that once you tell her, she'll just carry it on her head. So yes, she's a gorgeous woman, a brilliant woman, and also God-fearing. So she has every quality that every person would want to see in a person, and as a friend, sister.
I wish her happiness. I wish her divine lifting on all grounds. You see, she's a misunderstood person. And I don't wish that she should strive to explain who she is to any human. All I wish her is that God should understand her better. God should lift her higher. She should soar on eagle's wings. She should explore on all grounds and explode on all grounds. And spiritually, she should, I pray that God lifts her, that, she will do exploits in his vineyard, in the mighty name of Jesus.
My great-grandmother is a princess. My grandmother is one. My grandfather is a prince. From my mother's side, they are from the royal family. So it's one of the things that give me the passion I have for Igala land and the people, because I feel being from the royal family, every Igala person and the entire Igala land is my responsibility to care. So I always see myself as the Inikwi of my generation, but it's just that Inikwi made a sacrifice by saying, I'm ready to die for the land. But in this age and time, it's not a matter of sacrificing yourself to be buried anymore, but there are a lot of things you can do to stand in the gap. My prayer is that God will continue to sustain her, keep her, give her this courage that He has given to her. She should continue in that line. And I forgot to mention that I'm happy today she's a woman of God. She's a pastor. You know, during our time we never knew it will end like that, but that's God for you. I'm so happy.
My prayer for her is long life, prosperity, and God should meet her at every point of her need. That's my prayer for her.
Wishing her the best. See how she's looking young. Can you see at the age? I wish to be like her when I'm her age. I'm getting there, but I wish to be like her. Elegance spells it all. That's how I describe her. God's guidance, and you know what? We're going to be around for too long, so watch that space.
So when I think of where I'm coming from, I'm grateful to God. And one thing I'm most grateful to God about is, in 2007, I had a health challenge and I thought I was gone. It's one of the reasons that every additional year I like to celebrate, because I would have been gone and forgotten, but God preserved me. So every additional year calls for celebration for me. So those are the reasons for my joy and happiness. When I look back to those things, I say, God, I thank you.
Ura TV, Aboigala Online Television.